also turn off our videos so that we have a seamless experience as we go further. I'll be sharing my screen now to present my slide, my presentation, and we'll get started from there. All right, kindly confirm if you can see my screen. Olorunfemi.
We can see your screen.
All right, thank you very much, Jaguar. Okay, good evening, everyone. Someone's mic.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. This is Benjamin, joining from Edo State. You guys are from Central Local Government.
All right,
Benjamin.
Thank you, Mr. Benjamin. Please allow our facilitator to take over. Thank you very much for the introduction.
All right, thank you very much. So today it's an also in the agricultural sector already. We all know that whenever we go to banks to request for either financing or loan facility for our businesses, it takes a long time, or they indulge us in a lot of paperwork, and at the end of the day, they tell us, oh, we may not be able to finance you because you don't have records, or we cannot fully see, or you don't have collateral, or their interest rate is high for you to take the loans or the facilities that they have available as products. But we thought about that deeply within livestock funds, and we decided that, okay, how can we support the people that are in the agricultural sector? For a long time, the livestock sector have suffered from lack of financing, inadequate financing. Most of the funding that comes into agriculture, you would see that many of them are channeled towards either the production of crops or the processing of crops into value-added products. And that of the livestock space has been highly neglected. And we thought about this and we created a solution at Livestock Fund, which basically focuses on financing the future of infrastructure. We have come to understand that in the agricultural sector, there is a lot that is being left untapped into in the livestock space. And how can we support these people in the livestock space? So we understand that in the livestock space, there are producers, those that produce the chicken, that is either poultry birds, as broilers or layers, or the goats, the sheep, the cattle, and so on and so forth across the value chain. There are those who also just focus on processing. How do we process the meat into kilishi that people can consume, or processing it into other forms, right? And there are those who also have maybe vaccine stores or outlets, and they need cold chain storage, or their farmers are also looking for cold chain storage. And we decided that, okay, let's build a solution for this. Let's enable the people in the agricultural sector and the livestock space to be able to grow their business sustainably while still having access to resources that would support them to acquire facilities, either equipment that they need to grow their business or expand their farms. And our solution works in three models. The first one is, firstly, we finance productive infrastructure assets that directly increases output and reduces the cost of production. Also improve quality and enhance market access. So we understand that for some of you, there is a demand out there. There are customers that are looking to buy your product. But because you've not been able to grow to the level where you're able to meet that demand, you're not able to grow internally, either in terms of infrastructure, equipment that you need to meet that demand. You have been hindered, and your income has still been stifled. And due to inflation, you're not earning as much as you would want to earn, even when you remove all the expenses that you must have incurred earlier on. So the first approach that we leverage in supporting agribusinesses is the infrastructure or equipment financing. Some of you may know it as equipment financing. Some of you may know it. Sorry. Some of you, Blessing, please, can you mute your mic?
All right, Ms. Blessing, please kindly mute your mic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So some of you may know it as equipment financing. There's another name that form hire purchase and all that. And the way it works for us is more of a buy now, pay later structure, whereby you have an equipment you want to buy. For instance, you already have a pen house. You're currently doing 2,000 beds or 200 beds, and you already have a pen house or you have a space already, but you don't have money to buy the cages that you need to expand your operations. or your production capacity, you come to us and we finance you to be able to acquire the cages. Oh, is it drinkers? Is it feeders? Is it the picking machines? Is it packaging machines? Is it drying machine that you need? And so on and so forth. We'll still go deeper into that as we move further during this session. You come to us, we look at what you've said you want to buy, we evaluate it, and then we finance you to be able to acquire that infrastructure, that equipment. The second one is the cluster infra financing. And the way this works is, in the agricultural sector, we've seen that people within a community, many of them might be in cooperatives, or they might have their clusters, as many of us might know them as cooperatives or clusters. And all these people might have a shared need. Maybe, for instance, they need to acquire maybe a cold storage facility in their location, such that once they are done harvesting their broiler, before they get buyer, they're able to store it in that cold storage facility before to preserve the shelf life before they get a buyer to take it off their hands. And as a cooperative, they come to us and say, this is our need. We evaluate their needs and we go ahead to acquire that facility for them. The third one is the we build, operate, and transfer. We transfer to you a model. And this one is basically for the big firms, whereby they come to us with their need, or they want to increase their production capacity or their processing capacity. They identify the equipment that they need or the infrastructure they need. We finance them to be able to construct, to be able to acquire that facility or the infrastructure or the equipment. They run it over a period of time based on the agreement we have. We share revenue as agreed. And over a period of time, after they've been able to pay us back our own money with the interest on it, we transfer ownership to them. And as I stated earlier, this works basically for the big agricultural firms. But now a question of for you as farmers or for you as agribusinesses on this platform, what do you stand to gain working with us at Livestock Fund? What do you stand to gain, especially in partnership with Afrimash that are in their community? The first thing that you stand to gain is now you get to access tools or equipment that you need for your business without paying everything upfront initially. And what this means is, so we understand that the money that you have at the moment, you want to use it to finance working capital. You want to use it to buy feed. You want to use it to buy vaccines. You want to use it to pay salaries and all those things. And you still need an equipment for your farm. And you are thinking, how will I be able to acquire this equipment and still be able to pay salaries and still be able to buy feed and still be able to finance my operations on a daily basis? We've made that easier for you, where you come to us and then we've acquired the equipment for you, and all you just need to do is to pay gradually over a period of time. This is we call it taking advantage of the money of the finance that we have to grow your own business. It's not as if you are paying all the money upfront initially. No, we are going to pay all the money upfront to the person you want to acquire the equipment from, and you pay us back over a period of time with our interest. So that's where the get your tools now, grow your farm or grow your business now, and pay small over a period of time that we would agree with you on. The second one, what you stand to gain is the competitive interest rates. How many of you have tried to get loans from the banks? And if you don't mind, can you drop the interest rate in the chat box, what that you have been told you would need to pay over a period of time? If we get any response, Mr. Olorunfemi, you can please let me know.
Okay, so just to buttress on what our facilitator has said, if you have tried to borrow loan from the bank before, can you drop the interest rate that they've actually given to you before? So you can drop it in the chat box just for us to know. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you don't need to mention the name of the bank. Just let us know the interest rate that you are charged and the duration for which 60% per annum. Okay. And the duration for which you are supposed to pay the loans back. So, but for us, we have a competitive interest rate, 26% to 29% per annum. That's about 2.something% on a monthly basis, better than bank loans and also other fintech loans that are out there. And because we understand how agriculture works, because we have expertise in agriculture, because we've been in this sector for a while, and we have the network as well as the experience of other stakeholders. We know what your financing capability would be, and because of the fund that we already have to allocate in terms of loans to you, you're able to access up to 5 million naira in equipment financing, and you are going to pay it over a long period of time, depending on what we based on what our due diligence tells us and the duration that works for you. Also, you don't need to come to our office physically. It is 100% paperless, right? All you just need to do is just to fill a form. I would walk you through how to do that later in the session, and you're able to know whether or not we'll finance you within 48 hours. It's easier, straightforward. Instead of you going to the bank and all that, within 48 hours, we get to tell you, okay, we are going to be financing you, or we are not going to be financing you. And lastly, you don't need any collateral to come to access finance from our angle, from our business as a whole. Mr. Lauren, do we have any responses in the chat box?
Okay, can you come again, sir? For what's that?
I was asking if there are any responses in the chat box rather.
Yeah, we have one from FinTech, 60% per annum.
Okay.
Yeah, from Mr. Andrew.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. So now you'll be asking, what type of equipment do we finance? Because I've been mentioning, okay, infrastructure, equipment financing, and all. The equipment to finance are not limited to the ones that you see on the screen here, or you can see my presentation slides, but these are some examples. So our company is giving 26 to 29% per annum. How many percent is your company? 26 to 29% per annum. That's annually. For farm production, we finance you to get poultry cages, either battery cages, fish tanks, recirculation aquaculture system. That's if you're operating a fish farm and you need to acquire certain equipment to upgrade your farm. Also, water recirculation, irrigation systems, milking parlors. For feed and process, for those that are into feed processing and all that, yes, we only finance livestock. For feed processing, we finance pelletizers, mixers, hammer mills, extruders, basic processing equipment like defeathering machines, debeaking machines, smoking kilns, manual processing lines, scales, packaging machines, etc. For storage and logistics as well, cold storage solutions like solar chillers or cold rooms, drying equipment like solar dryers, grain dryers, mobile veterinary units. So for those that are into more of distribution of vaccines or vet services, we can finance the equipment that you use to make your services easier to access for the people in rural communities or for your customers. So mobile veterinary units, insulated transport vehicles, and many others. The types of assets that we don't finance are working capital, and I've mentioned this earlier. We understand that you have the finance to be able to cover for that, but when we look at it, so there are scenarios whereby you want to get an equipment, like I gave example earlier. You want to get an equipment, you have money to get the equipment, but you rather use that money to finance your working capital, that is acquire your vaccines. We can finance the equipment for you, but we will not finance you to buy feeds, to buy vaccines, for medications for your animals. We will not finance you to purchase animals. We will not finance you to pay labor. We will not finance you to cover transportation costs. We will not finance you to pay utilities like NEPA bill and other operational expenses. No, we don't do that. We will not finance you to construct your farm, that is in terms of structures and buildings. At the moment, we do not cater to that. And anything that is not related to livestock, we don't cater to that. We are currently focused on livestock infrastructure equipment financing. Like I said earlier, we only finance livestock infrastructures and equipment. And many of you will be asking, how do we do this? What is our process like? How will you be able to access this financing that we have? And it's simple. Either you're a producer or a farmer, you're a cooperative, or you're a cluster, or you're a processor, or you're across the livestock value chain. The first thing you do is to apply for our financing. Later in this presentation, there's a QR code where you can easily scan and you can start applying for the financing easily. Your first stage is you apply for the financing. That's number one. And once you apply for the financing, We on our end will review your application, and once you qualify, we'll carry out our due diligence and qualify you and inform you that, okay, you've qualified for our financing for this equipment that you said you want to buy, or that you've imputed that you want to buy. Once we've been able to do all our due diligence and everything that is required from our end, we'll reach out to you again and inform you to sign a financing agreement. That financing agreement is going to entail the how much you will pay back. We've mentioned the interest rate earlier. How much you will pay back, duration on which you will pay, the duration for which you will pay back the financing or the loans that we've given to you, and how you are going to pay back and how you are going to pay back. Maybe it's transferred to a bank account, or the modalities the modalities that are in place would inform you about that. Once you've signed the agreement on your end and you've sent it back to us, we would now disburse the fund to the person that will provide you with the equipment. So for instance, many of you are on this call because you're in Afrimash's community. Most definitely, you must have acquired maybe an equipment or so from them. We would pay Afrimash the money for the facility, for the equipment that you want to get. Afrimash will now deliver the equipment to you. And then you now pay us back directly because we've paid Afrimash the money already. You now pay us back directly the capital and the interest over the agreed duration. I hope that is clear. Any concern about that before I go further? Let's take about 2 minutes to address that.
I think you can just say it again so for people to like comprehend it again.
All right. So the way our financing works is you apply for our finance. There's a QR code that you will scan later at the end of the session so that you don't get distracted now. You apply for the finance. On our own end, you can see it here, number 1, apply for the finance. Number 2, on our own end, we'll review your application. And while reviewing the application, we'll carry out our own due diligence, ask questions. Sorry, Mr.
All
Bayo.
right, please, Mr. Bayo, kindly mute your mic. Thank you very much. Mr. Bayo, please mute your mic. Thank you so much. When we get to the question and answer section, you can ask every question you have. Please continue, sir.
Thank you very much. So we carry out our own due diligence, we ask questions, we interact with you. And after we've done all that and we qualify you that you qualify for our finance, then we send you a financing agreement for you to sign. Once you've signed that agreement, then the tool or the equipment that you said you need, we already have the price. We would finance Afrimash. The money goes to Afrimash. We don't give you the money directly. The money goes to Afrimash. We pay Afrimash for the equipment that you want to acquire. Afrimash will now supply you with that equipment that you need. Then stage 5, you now start paying us back our capital and our interest rate. That is, you start paying us back our money over the agreed duration that you've signed to. And if agreeing on the duration, we look at your books. We don't just say, oh, you pay back over 6 months, or over 12 months, or over 13 months, or 14 months, or 2 months, or 5 months. We look at your books. We understand how your business operates in its sense. We understand that, okay, if you are into the layer business, you sell crates of eggs on a daily basis. If you are into the broiler business, you sell your chicken maybe after 6 to 8 weeks and all that. We look at the business model that you operate on and how your cash flow works. And we structure our agreements to fit that so that we are not stifling your business. We understand that for other financiers, in terms of fintechs and banks, they just give you pay over this period of time on a monthly basis. They don't care whether you are making money off your own business or whether you are whether you are making money off your own business or not. They just want you to pay back their own financing. We want you to grow, and we also want to finance you to grow to the level at which you want to be to get to. How do you know you are eligible for our financing? Because we carry out rigorous applications vettings, leveraging several credit scoring models. Firstly, for you to qualify, you need to have a running agribusiness, either a farm or a processing, or if you're into processing, and have consistent cash flow. Have a functional and a running or operational agribusiness that we can see and know and verify that you operate. Again, for you to be eligible, you need to show us that you want to grow. That is, either you want to acquire equipment, and you will explain to us what exactly do you want to use this equipment for. You can't just tell us that you need cages and you are not telling us what exactly you need the cages for, right? Then, for you to be eligible, you need to show us in your, whether your bank statement or your cash flow statement or your income statement, that you'll be able to pay back that you'll be able to pay back our loans or our financing over a period of time, small, either monthly or on the agreed terms. You also need to show us that you are part of a cooperative, that people actually trust you, and you agree to our financing rates of 26 to 29% on a yearly basis. Also, you need to show us that at least you have business name registration. One thing I'll also add is at least you should have either a business bank account, either with one of these fintechs, either MoneyPoint or OPay, whichever works for you as a whole. So I'll take that again. Firstly, show us that you have a running agribusiness, either a farm, a processing facility. You should have a business that is in the livestock space that is running. You should show us that you want to grow. And how do you show us that you want to grow? You show us at what capacity you are operating on, what capacity you would want to get to, and the tools and equipment that you will need to get to that level. And then you should be able to show us that you will be able to pay back our loans or our finances over a period of time consistently, not that you will default. And you should be able to show us that people actually trust you. And how do we know that people trust you? You are part of a cooperative. You are part of a cooperative that people can actually vouch for you and say, oh, we know this person can actually pay over a period of time. This person does not cost wahala for us in our cooperatives and all. And you should you already agree with our financing rate of 26 to 29%. And lastly, your business should at least be registered as a business name, and you should have a business bank account that shows your transactions. One additional advice is, if you are the type of business that you mostly either collect cash and then you transfer it to your bank account, when transferring it to your bank account, ensure that there is a description that shows, oh, this is for eggs that I sold, or there is a description for things you sold on your farm. Also, if you are the type of business that you don't deal with cash, people transfer to you, try to advise your customers that when they are transferring to you or they are making payments, they include what exactly it is they are including payment for in the description section. And lastly, if you are ready to apply for our financing, just scan this QR code and you will get access and make your application. So I've extended the screen size so you can easily scan the QR code. Thank you very much. I'm open for questions now.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for the presentation. Okay. All right. I don't know. Aside this QR code that is here, is there like a link for, instead of the QR code? Just asking.
Yes, there's a link. I'll be sharing the link now.
All right. Please let us mute our mics. I am not going to start asking questions. The way we are going to ask the questions is going to be followed properly. Please, Mr. Adamu, kindly mute your mic, please. Mr. Adamu, your mic is on. If probably it's by mistake, please mute your mic. Mr. Adamu, please mute your mic. Mute your mic if you can hear me. Mr. Adam Dayabu, please mute your mic. Thank you very much. Mute your mic, please. I didn't say you should open your mic. Please mute your mic. Mr. Adam Dayabu, please mute your mic. Yes, I'll have to tell them to remove you from the call. Please mute your mic because you are disturbing others. Thank you. All right, please, if you have questions, kindly indicate via the hand icon, and we are going to, take it step by step. Please, if you have questions, indicate. So the form has been pinned. Mr. Akilade, please kindly close your video. Thank you very much. You are very handsome. All right, please, we are going to pin the form in the chat box. So for those of you that want to apply, you will definitely be able to fill the form. And also, we are going to drop the form via various platforms, on our community page, via email, and you're also going to get the form, to fill. All right, so we are having questions already. So we are going to pick those that have questions. All right, Mr. Ade Akin. Okay, Mr. Ade, please kindly ask your question.
Okay, thank you, sir. My name is Ade Akinjole.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate the presenter. I appreciate Afrimash. I am a farmer into agribusiness. I'm also a client to Afrimash, having been buying day-old broilers the last, although not consistently, but the last 2 years. Sir, essentially, you have identified the problem with the farmer, or challenge we have, farmers, is how to turn the farming into business, and we'll be able to have access to equipment, working capital as well. Other banks, sir, they will not allow us to, because of the high risk that sector, agri sector is. I'm also an agriculturist with MSc in agricultural economics, but my own is broader session, broader value chain. That's what I do now. I'm taking it up as a business. Sir, I have a registered company. That's my own company. So I'm the majority shareholder. It's a limited liability company. But I've been consistently selling processed, on my own at backyard, I do processed broilers. I have customers that buy from me regularly. But because I also have bank account for the company, but I don't use bank account to collect money. I have OPay, where they pay to, so as to reduce my cost of transactions. Sir, this account has been run for more than 48 months. I'm sorry, sir. For more than, since 2023, that's within 36 months. I don't know if this kind of thing can be presented. I have my own business plan. I want to upscale. I need equipment. I can actually get the working capital. Working capital required to get more livestock, mature broilers from cluster farmers within my neighborhood. Sir, and also to pay my staff. Please, sir, how can somebody like myself, who has a good account, bank account, but not under a business account, but it's my name, and I'm also the what I call a major shareholder of my organization. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ade Akinjole. So you can as well apply with your personal bank account statement if that is what your business transaction goes through. But you mentioned that you have a business account, but it has been existing for just 36 months. So you can also add that in your application, attach both documents. We will review on our end and get back to you, as long as it's equipment financing, like you have said, to upscale, to upgrade your business and to grow your business, then and you most likely qualify for it. The link is in the chat box.
I appreciate your response, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Fashola, for the question, for answering. So the link to the form is in the chat box. So please, if you want to apply, you can start applying, or probably you want to apply after the call. Make sure you copy the link and save it, and then you'll be able to apply after the call. Because by the time we are done with the call, the link is going to disappear. Of course, we are going to definitely share it on all our platforms for you to still have access to it. So please make sure you copy the link, save the link, and then apply. Thank you. All right, so the next person, we have a question also in the chat box. We are going to get back to that. So Mr. J.O., please ask your question.
Hi, thank you. Quite a good presentation. If I understand correctly, you said the maximum you do is 5 million. That's my first question. And do you do cross-border transactions?
Okay, quick one. What do you mean by cross-border transactions?
Okay, so I'm a breeder farmer, and I do so. I've just purchased incubators from China, which I was looking to. I just joined this out of curiosity. So I'm just thinking if this is what so it's something like equipment finance, like you said, if you can finance that rather than me paying, I was going to pay for it, but I mean if this can be financed, so that's what I mean. Like if you could pay instead of paying Afrimash, like you said, the company in Nigeria, my manufacturer is in China, sorry, India.
All right.
But like
Yes,
I
we do
said,
that.
like I said, you said 5 million was your maximum or something, so I'm not even sure.
Yes. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah, I
Mr.
can hear
Jay?
you. Yes, yes.
Yes, so we finance that as well, and for such financing, that would be a different model. That would go into either one of the models that we've explained. So please, you can reach out to the phone numbers that have been dropped in the chat box, or you can also submit your application, apply for the financing, include the quotes or the purchase or the invoice that you've gotten from your equipment, your supplier that is in India or China. I don't remember now, and we'll reach out to you. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank
Okay, thank you very much. So please, as he has said, make sure you check the chat box. You can see we have numbers being dropped in case you need help with completing the form. Probably when you open the link to the form, you are confused, you don't know what to enter. Please kindly save those numbers. You can call them and ask them about how you can fill the form. Please make sure you do that. And also those numbers will also be provided on our platforms also. But please, it is best that you copy it and save it now. All right. Okay, so moving on to the next person. So I believe Mr. J has asked this question. All right, Mr. Kazim Rafi, please go ahead with your question.
My question is, I don't know if you guys offer any form of moratorium, maybe a space, the time of grace before we start paying back the loan, in case.
Sorry, is Mr. Kazim still speaking?
We eventually get it.
Mr. Kazim, please repeat your question. Thank you.
I don't know if you offer any form of moratorium, maybe a period of grace, whereby we have to maybe take a month's break before we start paying back, or two. I don't know if you offer any of that.
Oh, so we do, but the way it works is after your application, once we review, we'll discuss with you and see how it works, the duration work. Remember when I was presenting, I mentioned that it is not set in stone. We understand that your business is entirely different from business B, so we have to look at it and say, okay, what works for you and also works for us. So if there is a need for a moratorium based on the size of the financing that you would need, we would communicate that to you as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my name is.
Sorry.
Okay, thank
Mr.
you.
Kadim, did you get that?
Oh, okay.
Mr. Musa,
Okay,
hold
no,
on. Let's-
I got that. I
let
got
us
the
be
explanation.
clear,
Thank you.
Mr. Kadim. All right. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing your
Please,
application.
for those that are leaving the call, I hope that it's network that is making them leave the call and they don't think that we've actually finished, because these are important questions that the facilitator might not have touched and then is able to explain in detail, right? Okay, so Mr. Musa, please go ahead with your question.
Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, we're in there.
Hi, Mr. Musa. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Sorry, please. For we that we are into agricultural input, like me, for example, I sell agricultural inputs. I sell veterinary drugs, fertilizers, farm machines, tools, and everything. How do I come in terms of the finance? How do you guys come in for me?
So we do not finance agricultural inputs, right?
Okay.
But for instance, for your veterinary stock, are you in need
Okay.
of a cold storage facility or a freezer to be able to store your vaccines appropriately? If yes, then you can also put in application for that. We only finance equipment.
Okay, you only finance equipment, right? Okay.
Yes, livestock equipment. Livestock equipment.
Oh, okay. No problem. I will try and reach out to you on that.
All right. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you very much. Just to reiterate, please, the form is in the chat box and also numbers that you can reach out to for help while filling the form. Please make sure you save that in your documents, in your notebooks. Thank you. All right, so moving on to the next person for the questions, please. Sorry. All right, I can still see some hands up. Okay, so please, if you no longer have any question, you can put your hands down.
Hello.
Mrs. Aminat, please go ahead.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation. Even though the network is poor in my end, I'm gonna ask a question maybe that has been explained. But my question is for us that are not in any form of cooperative. For me in particular, I have a poultry farm and I'm not in any cooperative. So is it mandatory that you have to be in a cooperative? If yes, do you advise? Do you have some cooperative that you could suggest for us, or the other, vouch for us as farmers? Even though I just retired, I've been in the farming for like 6 years. So that's my question.
All right, please, you can reach out to the number that's put in the chat box. I'll personally address that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although we
Thank
advise
you
that
very
you be part of a cooperative, since we are not asking for collateral at this point. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So just as I said, please make sure you take note of the numbers in the chat box. Please take note of them. Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Bola, okay, please ask your question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for organizing this. I just want more explanation on that aspect of the third aspect of the model that said we build, you operate. I want facilitator to expatiate on that.
Okay. Thank you. So the model we build, you operate, and then we transfer to you is a model that basically works for either cooperative, that is clusters, or big mid-level to high-level producers or processors, in the sense that they need an equipment that is very, very expensive, and they don't want to use their finance at the moment because they want to use that to service working capital to purchase that or to acquire that. We go ahead to acquire it and set it up for them. So for instance, maybe they need a cold storage facility and something like a mobile slaughterhouse and all that. We do the entire equipment financing, set it up, and it is still going to be in our name. So indirectly, we've built it out for them. They now operate it over a period of time based on the agreement we have, based on the revenue sharing model that we have put in place, and all the other terms that we've agreed upon. And once we've been able to recoup our capital and our interest back over a period of time, we transfer the equipment to them. That is, it is now their own. It is now going to be in their name and in their care.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. It's very clear. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I see Mr. Effiong is raising his hand.
All right, Mr. Effiong, please ask your question.
Good evening, everybody. Please, because of some network and issues, please, I don't know how we will be able to have whether we will be able to. Is it possible to have a recording of this session? That's just what I just want.
All right, no problem. The recording should be available for rewatch. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Any other questions?
Please, any other questions? Okay, thank you very much, our facilitator. I want to say thank you to everyone that has attended this webinar. We believe that you have the information now for empowerment. So please spread the good news to your friends, fellow farmers that are supposed to be here but are not here. The form, once again, is in the chat box, and also the phone numbers are also there for you to call. Maybe you are filling the form, you notice that you are confused. Please kindly call those phone numbers, and I believe that they are on standby to respond to you. So I want to say thank you to Livestock Funds, thank you to our facilitator, and also thank you to Mrs. Mudupe. So I think she's the assistant or something. All right. So thank you everybody for coming. We believe that no more questions from anyone, and that's why we are calling it quits on today's webinar. So till we come your way next time, we wish you all a productive weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the webinar recording.
The number is not on the chat board.
Okay,
The
I will
number-
share it again now.
Okay, please kindly share it again.
Yes, and if you need further information, you can always reach out or check our website as well.
All right, we've pasted, the number has been pasted again multiple times. Please copy the numbers before you leave. Yes, please make sure you copy the number before you leave. The link to the form, I believe everyone has copied the link to the form. I believe everyone has copied the link to the form, and it has been pasted again. So you have the numbers, you have the link to the form. Make sure you have those two before you leave this call. All right, thank you everybody. See you next time.